Hello everyone, and this has been a long time in the making. Part 6 of my Dark Elder collecting, building and making vlog. So, from the last video, which was late last year, as you can see I've expanded ever so slightly. We have the 10 Cabalite you saw last year, along with the Raider, one of the Venoms, and of course the Archon. But now we have another Venom. Obviously you saw these guys as well, jet bikes. Got 5 Incubi, got Drukhari, he ain't quite finished on his base, and we have the 4-year-old Reaper. It's finished. Apologies for not showing you guys later, sooner rather than later, but here it is finished. I still haven't decided on a symbol or detail for the sails, so they're as yet unfinished, but they will be. I will come up with something. I'll keep sort of dabbling in ideas and things and then sort of chicken out at the last second. But yeah, so here's the Reaper, finished. It took a good bit longer to paint up than the Raider, just because of the size of the fan, and also there's lots of extra bits, as you can see. You've got like this massive sort of the power column, or the barrel of the weapon which charges up into this, which is absolutely awesome. I've gone for a little sort of electric sort of pulsating light detail as best I can do with my skills. Cool little blade underneath the front. And then there's at the front angle. There you go. So you can kind of see where the forge weld bits are to convert a Raider, because that's all this really is, just a conversion kit. But it's really good. You've obviously got these things here, just there. You've got the front armour plates, still a bit of extra armor plate in this. The middle piece there, and of course little control console, and then this. There's you're looking at about 7-8 pieces, I suppose, as the actual forge weld conversion bits. But yeah, really cool model. It's come out really well. I've gone for nice details with the little blue gems as best I can. As you can zoom, not quite. There we go. So yeah, and there's the dude in all his glory, piloting away. Details on the console. Don't know if you can see it. Let's just spin it around a bit. There you go. There's details on the console just there. Come out really nice. Yeah, so really cool. Really enjoy this model. There is the Reaper. I'm looking forward to using that in battle, but obviously now, of course, time has flown, and of course it's now 8th edition, so I'm going to have to get the new 4-year-old Xenos Codex, is it? I think. And that's got all the Dark Elder stuff in there, so that should be cool. Very interesting to see what it looks like. And of course we've got Drukhari, who is an awesome model. I know a lot of people sort of moan about him. They say that, you know, Games Workshop should have sort of redesigned him by now, but I'm happy with him. I think he's a cool model. He's a classic model, classic vintage model. Don't know why he looks so glaring for. Do apologise. I think it's just the way the lights cause him a bit. Oh, there you go. See him a little bit better now. Try to. There we go. There he is. I think he's a really cool model. You know, the backstory to his armour is he's got old sort of, you know, real vintage armour. That's just the way that Games Workshop's using, but that's why it works. I think it's cool, and it's nice that he stands out unique compared to the rest of the Incubi as well. Really good model, really fun to build and paint. It didn't take long to paint him actually. It's quite quick, just a few hours, 2-3 hours at the most. One little Friday evening session. So that's him done, and he is really cool. Look at that. Yeah, like him. Then of course we've got the 5 Incubi as usual. Again, now these guys took a lot longer to paint, and they actually were a hell of a pain to put together. Obviously they're fine cast, which is always a worry, but the moulds are all brilliant. There's no issues with the fine cast moulds whatsoever. Really good. But just gluing them together was an absolute arse. I spent a lot of time holding things together. I even had to pin them to an extent, which I don't know if other people do that with fine cast models, but I was quite surprised I actually had to do that. But we got them places with them. But yeah, here they all are. They're standard poses, no conversions or anything, just as they are. Incubi, really cool. All the orange, all the blue as usual for my colour theme. I've gone for all orange on their armour, just because, well, I wanted them to have more, you know, snazzy sort of armour. Apologies for the shadow there. Just a sort of standout armour. I wanted all the elites and stuff to have sort of snazzier armour than the standard warriors. So there we go, and then of course another Venom just there. So yeah, really cool. I'm currently working on dramatic drum roll. He says as he struggles to get them to come over. Here we go. Scourges, come on. Oh, this is talent. This is. Here we go. So They are work in progress, and they are cool models. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but they are awesome. I've heard 50-50 sort of opinions on whether they're actually good or not to have in the game. Some people say they're not very good and not very helpful, but I think they look cool, so why the hell not? I've kind of tooled them up using the new Xenos index. Weapons seem quite lethal, so I've gone for a 50-50 mix of anti-tank and anti-infantry. So you've got your Haywire, you've got your Dark Lance, then you've got like Blast Pistol, you've got your Shredder there for anti-infantry. One has to have a standard carbine, so he's obviously anti-infantry, but overall I think we're in for get some good use out of these guys, I hope, depending on how tactics go. As you can see, parts of them aren't completed, like the main body and wings are completed. Bat wings aren't. I've gone for a flesh colour on the wings there, but obviously they're not quite finished yet. Well, for the hands of the wings it's a flesh colour, but the wings are going to be black and just shaded up grey after that. The arms and the weapons I've sort of half finished. I've glued them onto the model once I've painted the rest of the main torso of the model, and I can just highlight what I need to of the weapons and the arms rather than waste too much time highlighting the whole thing to then glue it on and then not bother to actually see half the detail. So that's the reason the weapons and arms are sort of half done with base colours. And I've gone for this, which is the lance sort of thing, the spear, can't think what it's called now. I've gone for spear because the close combat abilities of it do seem pretty damn awesome. And I've gone for blast pistol because, well, it's just going to be handy against still sort of infantry based things. But yeah, there's the wings all detailed up. Gone for a couple with orange and blue feathers, these two guys here, really cool. I've gone for one guy who's just got all blue in the welding the Dark Lance. There he's there, so really cool. I spent hours, honest to God hours. I had my wife doing some work related work at home, and I just spent hours making the most of her being busy, painting away, doing these wings. So yep, that was cool, good bit of quality time there. Yeah, and then finally the next part of the project is another raider and 10 more warriors, and that'll be my core units all finished off. But guys, I'd like some opinions here because I've noticed something worrying on the Games Workshop website. A lot of the models seem to be unavailable at the moment, and that seems to be being the general trend I've noticed on quite a few of their things, but the Dark Eldar especially, they're I'm trying to think what it's called now, not the Raider, the Ravager, that's been out of stock for quite some time, and the Venoms are no longer available, and that box I just showed you, the Sky Splitter thing, that's no longer available either. So don't know if you guys have picked up any rumours of what's happening. I have emailed Games Workshop just now just to sort of ask, you know, are they redesigning some of the Dark Eldar stuff? Are they discontinuing the Dark Eldar? I've heard rumours that they don't sell as well as other armies do, so maybe Games Workshop are doing what they did with the Chaos Dwarfs and such other armies, Bretonnians and things. But yeah, let me know. But thanks for watching, guys. Apologies for such a long time for the next video, but I've had so many other projects, as you know. But yeah, that is the force so far. I've got these guys, more warriors and a raider to continue. So take care, guys. Enjoy your hobby as always, and speak soon. Take care. Bye bye now.